With Derby Day away bragging rights in the bag, Manchester City look to restore home comforts after seeing their run of 21 unbeaten matches at the Joy Stadium wiped out. They're unchanged ahead of this one tonight. While Tottenham come to town unbeaten in their last 6, but boss Robert Villaham says they need to turn draws into wins. They've only beaten City once in the league. Could top goal scorer Martha Thomas perhaps be the difference up front tonight? They make 2 changes, including Zhang with her first WSL starts. Manchester City, Tottenham Hotspur in the first weekend in the Rainbow Laces campaign. Kick-off less than 15 minutes away. Evening everyone, this the last match in the WSL ahead of the international break, but no danger of these two putting their feet up. Courtney Sweetman-Kirk is joined by Fern Whelan tonight. Straight to it then, let's hear from the Manchester City boss Gareth Taylor with Natalie Gedra.
Gareth, same team as 1 week ago at the Derby. I imagine you're very pleased with everything you saw last week, but how do you balance these two emotions, the excitement around the Derby, and before that, all the worry, the concern, dropping down the table? I mean, there has to be a balance in between, right?
Yeah, I think it's just about controlling what's in front of you, and that's the next game. And for us tonight, it's Tottenham. We had a good moment last week, obviously. We showed everything in training that week that we wanted to bring to that game. We've spoken similar about this game tonight, really important game. Seen other results today, it's important that we stay in touch by putting 3 points on the board tonight.
How much pressing is going to be important today? Because you're facing a team who likes to press, you guys like to press as well. How much pressing is going to be a big factor here? Well,
it's always really important for us. So what I would say for us is so important that we win the ball back really quickly where we can. We're really aggressive. There's good communication from behind. It's a really big part of our game for sure.
Thank you, Gareth. Good luck.
No problem. Thank you.
Let's look at 2 top influencers in the leagues, and it's the keepers for both these sides. Both top the XG prevented table this season. Have a look at their save ratio as well. Passing accuracy higher for Becky Spencer. But Courtney, we're going to focus on Chiara Keating, who really influences the way that City play.
Yeah, she's a fantastic young player, and we're going to look at some of her positioning, which I think really influences the way that Man City are playing this season. So we'll have a quick look at the formation here. I love it when I get let loose on the touchscreen. So Alexandra Uwabi, we know that they get really high and wide. Kennedy and Greenwood split the box, and Keating then almost comes in as a third centre half. So that's it on them. I'll show you it in real time on the clip. So let's bring it in. And you'll see here, as it just goes through the play, as I said, expected that the centre half split high and wide. And then you see there, Chiara Keating. So easy to see, that's the 3 of them. It's a fantastic shape, and for me as well, look where she is. That's the 18-yard box behind her. She's a good 10 yards in front of that. And you spoke about the passing accuracy earlier, but look at this. This isn't bad. Out to RB, I think a better touch there from her, and City break that line really quick from Manchester United. And then the next clip we're going to go into, I love this. It's just that little movement, it's so slight, but her, as she comes in, Chiara Keating, that left arm just going to Alex, get out of the way. 86 England caps, Alex Greenwood, but she's got the confidence to say, no, I don't want you in there. I want you high and wide to give me more space. And obviously fans saw something else as well as this clip developed.
Yeah, I mean, it's so confident of her to do that, but as you see, the reason she does it, and I'll let it play a little bit further, but as it runs on, what's happened here is Alex Greenwood has then had to come a little bit wider, and it's made the striker and JC have to think a little bit about her position, so she takes a step wider, and actually as it runs through, you'll see it just opens up that space for her to play that ball straight into the middle of the park, and then City can build and they can do what they do best. But some might say that that is high risk, but for City most of the time it pays off and it's high reward. I think we saw midweek against Leicester where it didn't pay off, and we've seen it in a couple of games potentially against Arsenal. So I think, as long as she's cute and she's clever about it, it really is an asset to this City team, what she can offer them.
So just briefly, as a defender, you don't mind that little bit of high risk in there?
No, and I think because she's so young and she's come into the side, you've got to allow her to make mistakes to start off with. And yeah, as a defender, you obviously want to be able to look behind you and be assured by your goalkeeper. But I think 90% of the time, these players in front of them are, because as Courtney was saying, she can push them aside, she gives them the confidence, she bosses them about a little bit. It's good to see.
We'll talk Spurs in just a bit, but I did say this is the last match of this weekend, the final round before the international break. And some good bit of news if you're an Arsenal fan, England fan. Beth Mead with her first and second goals in the league since returning from injury. Arsenal with the win today, Manchester United 2, Chelsea top of the league, 5-2 winners over Leicester, a 4-0 win for Liverpool over Brighton. And in the last few moments, Everton, huge win for them. They've beaten Aston Villa 2-1. So those are the results from the WSL today. We'll bring you more on that a little bit later in the show. But this is all about Tottenham Hotspur. If they beat Manchester City tonight, they could leapfrog them in the table. City will have a word or two to say about that, but we'll hear from the Spurs boss next. It is 12 points from a possible 21 under Robert Villahammer. Spurs changed the style, the passes are up, the accuracy's up, the possession in the final third up. Same again at City. The Spurs boss is with Natalie.
What is important in facing teams like Manchester City, the so-called top four? How's the talk with the players?
It's a lot of trying to do what we are supposed to do. So even if we play against a really good team, we need to see, can we play the way we want to do it? Can we press the way we want to do it? We're not going to change anything for today. We're going to play the way we want to do it and see if we can beat Man City in that way. Of course, we have a plan and we know how they do it, but it's more like we want to play and focus on what we do. And are we ready to compete against Man City? I'm quite sure we are, but you never know though.
The only match that you guys had against top four teams was against Chelsea, the opening match. You guys lost, but created a lot of chances, 15 shots, 11 on target. What did you learn from that experience? Because you've had quite a few matches since then.
We got a lot of good self-confidence that we knew that we already were a good team and we can create chances against the best team in the league, right? And after that we have won a few games and we had a few draw, but we create chances every game. We score quite many goals, so we know that we are good as a team, how to play, so we just want to take the next step every week and we're doing that. So I'm very pleased with these first 7 games, but we want to take the next step now and hopefully we can do it today.
Good luck then.
Thank you.
I love the aura he's emitted this week, which has been, we don't care about clean sheets, it's about we're going to score more goals than you. And that comes down to having some real quality, especially in Grace Clinton. Yeah,
and you know, in Grace Clinton, I think she really deserves that England call-up that she got, and for the reasons being that she gives that possession style and that attacking style to Tottenham Hotspur. We see here that she actually drifts in field. It's an unselfish run from her here to let Ashley Neville come down this left-hand side and build up the play. They do that a lot and they link up really well, the pair of them. And then actually what we'll see here in this second clip is when she picks up the ball, she naturally wants to drift in field, but she's so attacking-minded. She dribbles past players. That's 4 players she's just dribbled past there and then nearly got a shot off and goal. So she's creating those shots, she's creating the strikes for the team around her. And actually she's adding that really positive aspect to Tottenham this season.
And that's been key because we all know that Bethany England hasn't been for them, who last season we talked about a lot, practically kept them up because of her goals. But they found goals elsewhere around this team.
Yeah, I think whether it be Grace Clinton, Bizzett's obviously chipping in with a couple of goals as well, but you say the aura, and that's what I love, is saying, look, yes, we're going to Man City, but they don't care. They're going to play the way that they want to play, possession-based. Again, similar to City in terms of high risk but high reward, and I love the fact that he's going there and he's not going to sit 11 behind the ball. It's about them and what they're doing, and the change of style of play has been incredible. So to implement that so quickly, it's been a joy to watch.
We've talked a lot about Ange Postecoglou and his style, but he is replicating it across Tottenham.
Yeah, and he's saying, obviously, he's playing the Tottenham way, isn't he? And he wants to do that. He wants to build exciting football and build some confidence within the players, especially off the back of last season, you know, finishing so low in the table.
What does that give you, though? I know you're a defender, but what does it give you when he's saying, no, don't worry about clean sheets, let's just go and score more goals?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I would take pride in clean sheets as a defender, of course. But
whereas
I mean,
for me, I'd be like, yes, this is the manager that I want.
Yeah, exactly, 100%. So you see 2 different kind of personal perspectives from it. But yeah, I think if they're scoring goals, you know we're in for an exciting game because that's what they're trying to do every single game. So you can see, but actually we'll score 2 more.
Wants to entertain the fans, and you can't blame him for that. And then the flip of that is Manchester City, who have that attacking flair and entertainment aplenty.
Yeah, they do, but actually it's not quite clicked yet, has it, in terms of, you know, how many chances they're creating, but in terms of being clinical, it's not quite there yet. But when it does click, it's going to be dangerous.
Will Spurs leapfrog City with a win tonight? And not just about the swap around in the table, but about the roller coaster of emotions, which is handy because we've got Pien Mullenstein and Izzy Christensen, calm as you like, to guide you through it.
Thank you very much, Caroline. Good evening, everyone. Well, Manchester City return to WSL action fresh from a Derby Day win and now have their sights set on the top 3. But a new look Tottenham Hotspur side are in town, who've started this season with a bang. Well, let's get you to the team news then, starting with Manchester City, where Gareth Taylor names an unchanged side from that derby win over Manchester United last weekend. Gareth Keating has already set a new career best for appearances this season. Leigh Alexandri is available for today's game after serving her suspension during their League Cup game against Leicester on Wednesday. Jill Roord is Manchester City's top league goal scorer this season with 4 goals. She partners Yui Hasegawa and Philippa Angeldal. Lauren Hemp played a crucial role in their win over the red side of Manchester last weekend with her strike. Today she starts again alongside Chloe Kelly and Bunny Shaw, who scored a hat-trick the last time she faced Tottenham Hotspur. Another strong bench for Manchester City. Ellie Roebuck is back on the bench. For Tottenham Hotspur then, Robert Villam makes 2 changes from their draw with Leicester. Becky Spencer is still on the hunt for her first clean sheet this campaign, supported by defence that sees Asmita Ale move into right back to make her first league start of the season. It means Anghara James will move into midfield alongside Evelina Sumanen. Lin Yan Zhang makes just her second league appearance, while Grace Clinton will be hoping to continue the impressive start she's made. Martha Thomas has been Spurs' biggest threat this season. She's the league's top scorer with 6 goals. So Ria Percival and Jessica Naz are the 2 who drop to the Tottenham bench. So there are the 2 managers shaking hands ahead of this one. Gareth Taylor's lost just once in his 7 games against Tottenham. Well, Izzy, you want to look at 2 players who are key attacking threats tonight.
Yeah, firstly with Manchester City, Chloe Kelly, you cannot ignore what she has done this season so far. She's been a real threat. She's starting to find her groove, her rhythm, and she's been excellent to watch. And her assist in the derby at Old Trafford last weekend was excellent to find Jill Roord and get her team back in the game. And Céline Bizet from Spurs has been a real attacking threat. She's a force, she's a strong rudder with the ball. She's had the most entries into the final third with the ball in this Tottenham side. She'll be a real threat.
Well, before we get underway, we found out the sad news that former England football manager Terry Venables passed away at the age of 80. During his managerial career, he was also in charge of clubs including Tottenham. There'll now be a period of applause to remember the life and legacy of Terry Venables. Well, the Joy Stadium is ready and raring to go for this one. Manchester City hoping they can find back-to-back wins in the WSL after that Manchester derby win in their last WSL game, whereas Tottenham Hotspur have been on a run of 1-1 draws recently. It's something that the manager, Robert Villam, has been speaking about. They're wanting to turn those draws into wins. They've only lost once this season, though. Final checks by referee Richie Watkins. And ahead of kick-off, the players will take the knee. A reminder, there is no room for racism or discrimination. And so away we go, a frosty night in Manchester. 2 teams facing each other who are heading in the right direction. Tottenham only lost once this season, but Manchester City bounced back from 2 defeats on the bounce with a statement win over their local rivals last time out, and they will be very keen, Izzy, to keep that momentum going tonight.
Absolutely, and they're facing a super side in Tottenham. You can already see a great start from them, confident forward runs, playing through the lines. I think we're in for a really exciting match this evening.
Alexandri to take away the pressure that the Tottenham forwards are putting on at the moment. Alexandri, of course, able to play today because she was suspended for their League Cup game on Wednesday. Now Chiara Keating, who has become Manchester City's #1 goalkeeper this season. She's already set a new career best of the amount of appearances she's made this season, with 7 in the league. This will be her 8th. Here's for Angeldal. Finds Chloe Kelly. Alexandri.
Yeah, you just see with the fullbacks, Alexandri on that occasion coming in field. It's such a feature of Manchester City's play, and very competent in that central area, receiving the ball under pressure, turning, facing forward. You can just see how narrow it's created Tottenham's midfield already.
Here is Kelly, looking to play in Bunny Shaw. Kelly again, and she got stopped by Suominen. Here's Greenwood. Well, it was interesting hearing the thoughts actually of the Manchester City manager Gareth Taylor after that Derby Day victory, and he said yes, it was a good victory, but psychologically it was really good for the team as well. As Angeldal plays in, Jill Horty will try and take a strike, but it was well defended in the end by the Spurs defence. Hasegawa has it now for City. Out to Kelly. And defended away this time by Zhang, but they've got themselves a corner.
Yeah, it's excellent from Hasegawa, just killing off the counter-attack. It's actually Grace Clinton who's playing central. She's played off the left a lot this season for her side, but she's actually started the game centrally. You can just see the battle, or watch the battle evolve between Clinton and Hasegawa doing brilliantly there in that number 6 role.
Ward plays it short to Chloe Kelly. Here's Hasegawa, floats in a dangerous looking cross. Short. Well, early signs of danger already from the home side. Well, Bunny Shaw scored a hat-trick the last time she faced Tottenham Hotspur. Plenty for Chloe Kelly to aim for. She's taking it short again. Kelly with the delivery, it's a good one, and headed away.
That's 2 excellent deliveries coming from the short corner by Manchester City. The first one by Hasegawa and this one by Chloe Kelly. Just watching it back, the wonderful flight of the ball, the whip on it. She's put it in, she's taken a little bit of the speed off the ball, and it's just forced Ashley Neville into the safe option, which is heading it away from danger.
Chloe Kelly and Jill Ward plotting with this 3rd corner kick for Manchester City. Kelly in, finds Bunny Shaw, couldn't quite find the space to shoot, and now a chance for Bizet to try and chase it down, but it was well stopped in the end by Greenwood. What are the threats that Manchester City have to be aware of with this Tottenham Hotspur side?
Well, I think the counter-attack, the players that they've got in Grace Clinton and Bizet and Martha Thomas playing, like I said, Grace Clinton a little bit more central. They're so good on the ball, dribbling with the ball. There's pace, there's power. They're a real threat. Manchester City will be very wary of their front 3 in particular today.
Well, certainly a new look Tottenham Hotspur side under the new manager Robert Villahamn. Here's Angeldal, wants to find the space for Kelly. He tried the cross, but well stopped by Neville.
Tell you what a pass that is by Alana Kennedy. She's broken 2 lines, the forward line and the midfield line of Tottenham, with that ball into the back foot of Angeldal, and Chloe Kelly looking for that early whipped ball across. I can see exactly what she was trying to do. Another corner for City.
Well, she's making her way into the penalty area. Alana Kennedy. Chloe Kelly ready for another corner kick. Nice delivery, not quite the best one. Asagawa to Greenwood. Leila Wahabi. He got away from Neville. She tried to take it on herself, but Tottenham Hotspur win the possession back. And Suominen is fouled.
Yeah, those are the moments where Tottenham have really progressed this season under the new manager. And the ability to keep possession of the ball when you're playing against a top side like Manchester City. You spend a lot of the game suffering, chasing the ball, filling spaces, but when you win it back, it's so important to have that connectivity with each other, and that's a perfect example of what we've just seen there from Tottenham.
Spencer, over to Neville. Alexandri. Now Asagawa. Bizet takes over for Tottenham Hotspur, and she has options ahead of her too. Suominen to Bartlett. Neville. James. Nian Zhang was hoping to find some space there for Bizet. James again. And Jill Hoard takes over.
Really sharp bit of play from Tottenham. Just a little bit of a loose pass from Grace Clinton. We'll allow that. How good she's been so far this season, but it shows the confidence that this Tottenham team are playing with. And what I've noticed a lot is that they play a lot of shorter passes, which actually gives them the ability to be closer to the ball if the ball does break down. Exactly like what we've just seen. They're back in control of the ball again.
Wahabi able to pick up on that loose ball. Here's Lauren Hemp, who scored a brilliant goal, by the way, in that Manchester derby.
Went under the radar a little, that finish. It was absolutely superb.
Greenwood. There's Kiara Keating, who has been named in the latest England squad for the Nations League games against the Netherlands and Scotland.
Yeah, Tottenham being really disciplined, filling spaces, they're not biting. No one's getting drawn out of position yet, they're just picking their moments.
Wahabi couldn't get past Suominen. Alexandri. Out to Chloe Kelly. Asagawa. Falls back to Greenwood. Manchester City just holding on to the possession at the moment as Jill Hoard will chase down this pass from Greenwood.
Yeah, you can see exactly what Alex Greenwood is trying to do. She's trying to just feed the ball into the space for Jill Ward. It's unlike her to mis-execute a pass.
Gareth Taylor certainly will be hoping that his side will be able to head over to the top three in the WSL if they get a victory against Tottenham Hotspur, of course. Already so tight in the table, which just makes it all the more exciting, especially for us.
Yeah, it's essential for Manchester City. I think with the disappointment last season of not even getting Champions League football, they have to win today to keep in touch with the pack at the front. And Chelsea, of course, leading the way again, evolving again. They are definitely the team to beat.
Angeldal. Kennedy. Yara Keating, still such a young player as well, and trusted by Gareth Taylor as the #1 keeper for City this season. Bartrick back, and she had to make the decision quickly because Lauren Hemp was putting the pressure on. Now Chloe Kelly is doing so as well and has forced the mistake.
Yeah, it's excellent pressure from Chloe Kelly. That's one of the parts of her game which I don't think people necessarily give her credit for, the pressing. And what I really like about what she does, and I think she does it here, is the pressing angle that she goes in with. She seeks the pressure and she cuts off the passing lane as she presses. She's almost doing 2 jobs. Really good play from Chloe Kelly.
Trip to Thomas. Looking for Bizet, but it's Greenwood who takes over. Now Horde. City fans finally making their voices heard inside the stadium. Neville.
Yeah, she was just caught in 2 minds there, Ashley Neville. But again, excellent from Grace Clinton on Hasegawa. She's got a role to play, which is to try and stifle Hasegawa. As we all know, she is key to the way that City function.
James. Clinton weaving her way through. Bizet. Turning to try and get a shot away. Thomas was waiting for it. And the flag is up against her though.
Yeah, I think it was Bizet, was it, that was offside? As Grace Clinton passed it off to the right. Did she drift? No, it can't have been. Yeah, it was Martha Thomas in the central area. Yeah, you can just see on the shoulder Alana Kennedy, but really good play from Tottenham. Again, Grace Clinton on the half turn. When she gets into those areas, you see exactly why she has had a call up from Serena Wiegman. She's going to be a big star of the future.
Here's Bunny Shaw. Tried to find Chloe Kelly, but it was well read by Neville. Shaw again. Kelly. Angeldal.
That's another thing Philippa Angeldal does really well, is protects the ball with her touch. Her and Chloe Kelly have got excellent rapport on the right-hand side for City.
Well intercepted there by Clinton. Bartrick. Feeling the pressure and didn't make it easy for a goalkeeper, Spencer.
You know, that's the second time Becky Spencer's passed the ball off to Molly Bartrick when she perhaps doesn't actually want to receive the ball, and she's put under quite a lot of pressure.
Here's Hemp. Tends to get away. That's a really good run from Lauren Hemp. Charges forward again, looking for Angeldal. Best chance Manchester City have had.
I tell you what, you cannot sleep on Lauren Hemp. She has been quiet in this opening 14 minutes or so, but this is what she is all about. And what I love about this is the little dink ball. She doesn't fizz it across, she actually looks to pick someone out. It's a wonderful little dink. Just wide from Angeldal, but that is Lauren Hemp in a nutshell.
Manchester City showing their threats early on here at the Joy Stadium.
What a pass that is from Becky Spencer.
And here's Neville. He's trying to get away, got caught there by Angeldal, and she'll be shown the first yellow card of the evening. Suminen. Over to Neville, who tried to take it first time to Zhang.
Actually, no, she doesn't really need to be offside there. You can see exactly what she's trying to do, though. And that is a feature of Tottenham's play this season. Fullbacks getting higher, being more brave in possession. Been fantastic to watch so far this season.
What for you's changed the most about this Tottenham style of play?
Well, I think the possession, the build-up has been completely different. I think the signings that they've brought in, Martha Thomas, Grace Clinton, have really knitted things together.
Well, here comes Clinton. There's support as well, but Alexandria was making her way over, and it will go Manchester City's way.
Yeah, I think bringing in players like Martha Thomas, who've been frustrated with perhaps lack of playing time over recent years at her former club. I think she's coming with a point to prove, and she's certainly doing just that. And she's had a terrific start to the season.
And she is the league's top scorer at the moment. Martha Thomas, 6 goals in the WSL. Asagawa
has been completely different. I think the signings that they've brought in, Martha Thomas, Grace Clinton, have really knitted things together.
Well, here comes Clinton. There's support as well, but Alexandria was making her way over, and it will go Manchester City's way.
Yeah, I think bringing in players like Martha Thomas, who've been frustrated with perhaps lack of playing time over recent years at her former club. I think she's coming with a...
There's Luana Bula. Spencer with the clearance, and it wasn't her best. There's the hand up to apologise.
Yeah, just putting themselves under a little bit of pressure there, Tottenham, from their own throw-in in the attacking third.
Oh, trying to turn it away from Suminen. Alexandri, there's quite a battle between Alexandri and Zhang at the moment.
She's a superb defender, Alexandri. It's good for City that got her back after that one-game suspension in midweek that she served in the League Cup. She's definitely an essential part of the way that City play, and the fullbacks coming in field. You see Uabi coming in on this left-hand side, getting on the half-turn, comfortable receiving. It's a joy to watch. But then it's what do they do next after they break that line, which I'd like to see a little bit more of from Manchester City.
Alexandria again. And Zangeldal. Now Shaw. Trying to get away from Bartred. Wahabi plays it through to Angeldal. And that will be a free kick for Manchester City after Angeldal was fouled.
It's come from the fullback again, Uabi passing that ball into Angeldal. And this again another example of Angeldal just using her body, takes the challenge off Neville, lays it off to Rord, and that is how City progress through the thirds.
Chloe Kelly and Alex Greenwood, the two who stand over this. Greenwood with the delivery in. Kennedy was waiting to tower above. Suminen got the clearance.
Yeah, really well dealt with from Tottenham again. It was actually Martha Thomas who managed to get her body in the way, doing her defensive duties.
Wahabi. Picked up here by Thomas. Got away from Kennedy. Looking to get it cross, and Bizet couldn't get the touch. Here's James. Bizet again, looking for the options, and they've got themselves a corner.
Yeah, and that is the danger of Manchester City playing out from the back. Just the jump from Martha Thomas. You just watch her read it here. She's gone exactly the right time, nicked it past Kennedy. Just in this situation, could be a little bit more ruthless. Look at Grace Clinton at the back post. But not bad at all. The decision to jump and press at that point for Martha Thomas was excellent.
Well, Celine Bizet ready to take this corner. Plenty in the box as well, ready to try and get on the end of it. Bizet's delivery. That is there, but it wasn't quite with the right people that they wanted it to go to. Tottenham Hotspur. Chased down by Alexandri. We have a couple of good battles going on the pitch at the moment, haven't we? Alexandria and Zhang and one of them. Chloe Kelly with Neville.
Yeah, Clinton on Hasegawa as well. It's been, you know what, it's actually been like a game of chess so far. Both teams are figuring each other out, but I think Robert Villahan will be very pleased with the way his side have set up in this opening 20 minutes. The question is, can they sustain it?
Angeldal to Shaw. His hand. Now Angeldal. Kelly wanted it. Hasegawa. Hemp. Trying to get away from Neville. Across and Shaw! Bunny Shaw in the right place at the right time, but it was a brilliant delivery. Manchester City can celebrate because they've got a breakthrough.
Oh, I tell you what, this ball in for Muabi is absolutely superb. City just really patient with their build-up, just building the ball around. Does Spurs not get out quick enough in this situation? But who's marking Bunny Shaw, and the ball in between the two centre-backs? She does not miss from there, Bunny Shaw. But it's all about the ball in for Muabi. Wonderful pace and flight on it. Absolute dream for a striker, and Bunny Shaw just attacks it, heads it home. Brilliant goal for City.
Well, that's why Manchester City signed her. Leila Wahabi with a brilliant cross in, and Bunny Shaw made sure Manchester City ahead in the first half. And Bizet looking to get through this City defence.
Yeah, Wabi sticking to her defensive duties as well, really well then. On Bizet, that is another good battle. Good response from Spurs though.
One back, and now Spurs looking to go on the attack, but it just flashed across. Well, there have been chances at both ends, but Manchester City arguably with the better of those, and they've taken it, Izzy.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've been really impressed with the way that Tottenham have set up, and they've been disciplined, but just watching that goal back, you just wonder whether Tottenham had managed to get the back line out quicker, whether it was preventable. But hey, let's not take anything away from Man City. The ball in and the finish. They've been so prolific in wide areas over the years, Manchester City, and again on that occasion.
Kennedy. Here's Shaw. Asagawa. Neville trying to win the possession back for Tottenham, and they've got it as well. Clinton fires it across to Bizet. And couldn't get a strike away. Sumanen out to Angara James. Neville. Trying to get it past the man to Martin, couldn't get hold of it. Now City forward. Ale. Now Bizet. As Martha Thomas ahead of her as well, has to try and get away from Hasegawa. Bizet! Good stop from Keating.
Yeah, the referee's just bringing it back to Jill Ward for that challenge on Ale, but it's run from Bizet, that's what she's all about, and Chiara Keating, she has to make that save. It's going to cross her. Not quite enough power to beat the goalkeeper from there, but assured goalkeeping nonetheless from Keating.
Well, there was a yellow card shown to Jill Ward for that challenge.
Definitely a yellow card, it was late.
Well, here is Jill Ward. And across to Hemp, but Ale has spotted it. Alexandri. Kennedy. Loose passing, almost pounced upon by Clinton.
Yeah, it's good pressure again from Grace Clinton, but it's unlike Alex Greenwood to play that pass when she's not 100% sure. Across to Alana Kennedy.
Well, ever since that Manchester City goal, it has to be said, Tottenham Hotspur certainly reacting in the right way as they are on the hunt for the equaliser.
Yeah, you can see nothing's really changed from the way that Tottenham have set up, and rightly so. Really comfortable in their build-up, no reaction from the manager. On the sideline, the team are playing really well.
Kept in by Kelly. She's looking for support. Here's Jill Ward. Now Hemp. Ward. Can take it, and it's straight into the hands of Spencer.
She's only got one thing on her mind, Jill Ward, and she's been doing it for years across Europe at the top level, and that is shooting from in and around the 18-yard box or just outside. She's one of the best in the world at it.
And she's been the best for Manchester City so far this season. She's their top WSL scorer so far this season, Jill Ward. Now forward looking for Bizet. Now Hasegawa. How do you get a player like Martha Thomas more involved in a game like this?
Well, you can see from the start what Robert Villeham tried to do, which was get Grace Clinton close to Martha Thomas to combine centrally, and Spurs have almost looked like a 4-4-2 in and out of possession. So I think that if they can get Grace Clinton on the ball more on the half turn in and around Hasegawa, I think Martha Thomas's supply line significantly improves. She's doing a terrific job out of possession for her team, I must say, to Martha Thomas.
Roard to Alexandri. Now Kelly. Angledahl. Here's Hasegawa. Roard. So she wants to take it on. It was stopped by Bula. On the run now. Ola Thomas trying to take advantage. Hasegawa. This is Kelly.
You just see Chloe Kelly on this right-hand side. She's just alone and she's waiting for the right moment to come alive and come and join the play, and that is what she's been doing really well last season. Just watch her coming in late now.
Here's Roard to shoot! It's a second! Another cross from the left-hand side, and Bunny Shaw was there again. And now Manchester City have doubled their advantage.
Yeah, the Tottenham players just having a little chat because they've been run ragged on this occasion. This time Jill Roard running the channel, Lauren Hemp playing deeper, and she's just not tracked. Bunny Shaw's not secured in the box. A little movement inside the box. She takes the two centre-backs for a bit of a ride, and then she comes in, comes alive, attacks the ball. If you watch her movement in the box, it's fantastic. She moves away to come in, and she is not missing from there. Another wonderful goal, a cross and a finish by Bunny Shaw.
Goal number 5 this season in the league for Bunny Shaw. And she may just be having those memories of when she scored a hat-trick against Tottenham last season. They may just be coming flooding back. She's got her sights set on goal, and she looks hungry tonight. Another headed goal as well by Bunny Shaw. 2 today, 4 in total, the most in the league this season.
Another terrific ball in. The quality in the wide areas for Manchester City. I'm not just talking about today's game, but across the course of even the WSL season, I'd like to say, from the formation of it, they've just been terrific. They've always had really good wingers. And I know it's Jill Roard that's provided that, but it's all come from Lauren Hemp's movement. Just look at Bunny Shaw dropping deep, linking play.
Zhang has to win the possession back, and she's got it as well. This is good play from Spurs. Clinton trying to get away from Hasegawa and Angledahl. Alexandria eventually, only as far as Bizet. James out wide to Whale. Missed there by Keating, but eventually secured into her hands. It looked a little bit nervous at the back for Manchester City.
Yeah, she's got a little bit lucky there, Kiara Keating. She did the right thing coming out to claim it, be commanding.
Here's Roard again, finds Hemp. Gets away from Ale. Lauren Hemp across, looking for Bunny Shaw. And it was Suominen who just got in the way.
Yeah, on that occasion, good tracking by Suominen. She had to stay right tight to Bunny Shaw just to stop anything, and it was almost clear what was going to happen. Lauren Hemp was going to look for the cutback, but all the players in the box for City, just watching the replay, they're all going into the same area. As Lauren Hemp beats her fullback, they're all looking for it. Angledahl, Bunny Shaw in the same space.
Kelly with the corner delivery. Asagawa. Wahabi away. Ward's win it back for Manchester City. And across to Lauren Hemp, who's moved over to the right. This is Angeldal. Alexandria will try and get there ahead of Suminen.
Yeah, it just comes from Grace Clinton dropping a little bit deep, essentially. You can see she's trying to get involved in the game. This is the first goal from Bunny Shaw. Really good ball in from Baihu Abbey, and the way that Bunny Shaw attacks the ball, you just watch him between the two centre-backs. No one's really secured her, and a movement on this second one. Just brilliant.
Asagawa. Kelly. It's the cross in, and Neville and Shaw to clear it away. And as far as Alexandri, Wahabi wants it. This is Shaw. Bunny Shaw! What a finish! It's a first half hat-trick for Bunny Shaw. She's enjoying every minute of this.
All I can say is, wow. Another cross into the box. And you can see as soon as she makes her first touch on the ball, she's got one thing. I'm thinking, set it. If we watch it back, I'm just thinking as the ball comes in, I'm wondering whether she's going to set it to a teammate. It comes off a second phase. The ball just goes straight back in. She's got her hand up, she's looking for it. And I'm just thinking, can you lay it off to Abby? No, I'm taking this. And she blasts it past Spencer. Ruthless from Bunny Shaw. What a finish.
Well, Bunny Shaw, goal number 6 in the league, her third in this game, a hat-trick for Bunny Shaw. It's her second against Tottenham Hotspur as well. She is in a good mood tonight.
She is. She's certainly buoyed by the goal last week in the derby, which by the 3 that she scored tonight was a pretty poor finish. Just came from endeavour. But I was thinking to myself just before that third goal went in, it's really important the Spurs don't concede another just before half-time, and it's exactly what's just happened.
Well, Bunny Shaw's been able to score all 3 goals within 14 minutes. And that is 10 feet as well. 14 minutes, 52 seconds between all 3 goals. And a hat-trick of Bunny Shaw in the first half. Is this scoreline, though, is he reflective of the performance that Tottenham Hotspur have put out in this first half?
I just think that the scoreline reflects the mindset of the two sides. I really like what Tottenham are doing under their new manager. I don't think this game will be definitive in what they continue to do, but I just think Manchester City are in the mood, and when they're playing like this, they really are tough to stop.
Ward. Well, where do you go from here? What's the half-time team talk when your team are losing 3-0?
Of course, it's a tough question, Peen, but I think with where Tottenham are and where they want to go to, and the improvement they've made in such a short space of time, this is by no means a catastrophe. I'm looking at the players. You can really see what they're trying to do out there. You can really see what they've tried to do so far this season. and it's working. They've got results, and I thought in the opening game against Chelsea they were fantastic. They were not fazed by playing the champions at Stamford Bridge, and they've evolved from them. But this is almost like an educational piece now.
Well, how do Tottenham respond to what has been an impressive first half performance from Manchester City? Spurs were unbeaten in the last 6 before this game. Had 3 draws on the bounce though before this, all of them 1-1. Alexandri to Bunny Shaw, over to Hasegawa. Hasegawa. And Woodforce back to Keating. Check over to James. This is Suminen. Now Vula. He finds Clinton. And then out wide, looking for Bizet, who will chase it down, but so will Wahabi. Just about got there, but do get themselves a corner, Tottenham.
Yeah, good bit of play through the thirds from Tottenham. Really brave, confident. It was again Grace Clinton who's moved centrally to what we've seen so far this season. I think it's really smart from Robert Villaham to play her there in this game, because we've just seen there what a threat she can be, offsetting the ball and driving a team forward.
Here's James. He's it in for Zhang. Once again looking to get away from Chloe Kelly. So with the delivery, it was good. Suminen was there to try and keep the chance alive. Now for another corner.
Yeah, really nice short corner from Tottenham. It was Zhang that made the third player run, and then they get the ball off the second phase. Good bit of play by Bizet. Fizzes it across, and Suminen doesn't actually get contact with that ball. It'd be interesting to see where that would have gone.
Another chance. And Tottenham to try and find a way back into this game. And the delivery this time wasn't quite the same. Straight to Chloe Kelly. The Spurs have never been able to find a comeback after being 3-0 down before. So they would have to do it for the first time in their history. But they certainly have been making a statement already this season. Who knows what will happen?
Yeah, Robert Villaham's already been vocal about adding to the squad in the transfer window. Be interesting to see the calibre of players that he's able to attract and bring in and enhance this team, which has already made huge strides in a short space of time.
Wahabi over to Kelly, skips away from Ale. Here's Jill Ward. Well, into 3 minutes of added time in this first half. Chance to welcome viewers from Sky Sports Premier League. You've missed 3 goals from Bunny Shaw, a first half hat-trick. Tottenham Hotspur hoping they can find some sort of reaction, and they need a pretty big one as well to try and get themselves back into this game. James to Bula. Took here by Rord, who's charging forward now for Manchester City. Hasegawa. Bizet is down for Spurs at the moment, but they will try and go on the attack here. This is Thomas. He'll have to go all alone.
Yeah, Kennedy does really well just to marshal Thomas. You can see exactly what Martha Thomas was trying to do. Spinning behind, use her pace.
Well, that's what happened in the build-up to the pain that Céline Bizet is currently feeling. Well, it certainly has been some first half performance from Bunny Shaw, a hat-trick in the first half from her.
Yeah, absolutely ruthless from Bunny Shaw and Manchester City. Bunny Shaw obviously finishing the moves, but balls in from Jill Rord, Uabi, and then this one here from Alexandria in the touch and the finish. Oh, it's just brilliant to watch from Bunny Shaw. 3 superb goals.
Well, Bizet is back up on her feet, so she seems okay to continue. Well, plenty of work to do for Tottenham Hotspur, and he will have a pretty big half-time team talk to deliver as well, to try and re-energise his side. Hasegawa, away by Bula. Clinton couldn't quite hold on. Angeldal, that's brilliant play from Shaw. Now Manchester City forward. Here's Chloe Kelly. Out to Angeldal again. Couldn't hold on, and Hebb wants to get away with it for City.
Yeah, that's the other thing Manchester City are brilliant at, is the mindset shift as soon as they give the ball away. The attitude to win it back is so quick.
Well, there is half-time. Well, what a performance from Manchester City and Bunny Shaw, who got a first-half hat-trick. Brilliant deliveries, though, from Leila Wahabi, Jill Rord as well. And Bunny Shaw with a fine finish to make it 3-0. Manchester City in control. Work to do for Tottenham Hotspur. Half-time score, Manchester City 3, Tottenham Hotspur 0.
Bunny Shaw loves a hat-trick against Tottenham Hotspur. Her second in the row as Manchester City lead 3-0 at the break. Well, she was baking them. Fern Wheel and Courtney Sweetman-Kirk. It was all about the Bunny Shaw show in that first half.
It was. She's been absolutely fantastic, and she's been in the right place at the right time. We see here for the first goal, Uabi gets a brilliant cross in, and Bunny Shaw gets a run on the defenders, and it's a fantastic header. I think you can see in this second angle, the defenders, for me, aren't tight enough to Bunny. The body shape is closed, they're not open, they don't know where she is, and they give her that time and space to get the run on them. And unfortunately for them, she's in the right area at the right time, and it's an absolute bullet header.
Defensively, then could do better than the second goal. It's all about these crosses for these City goals.
Down the left-hand side again, and it's a real problem, isn't it, for Tottenham Hotspur? And it's Jill Rord this time with the underlapping run, and it's a beautiful crossing. And where we saw the pace and the power last time from Bunny Shaw to get up, I love the movement here, because you'll just see it initially. She's in between both the centre halves. Then she just hangs back a little bit. Then she darts to the front post, then back between the centre halves, and then to finish it off with the header that's across Becky Spencer from that angle. It's wonderful. Two fantastic headers, very different, but both equally fantastic goals.
And the third?
Yeah, and again, you can see she just sits in between the defenders and she caused them problems. In the first instance, yes, they get the header away for here, but it's too much time and space for Alexandria to get the cross in. And what Bunny Shaw does here brilliantly is she just chests it down, takes the first touch and gets it straight in the back of the net. I still will be questioning, again, the centre half in this instance in Beulah. Is she tight enough as the ball comes in? Yes, but then she takes a step off and doesn't get tight enough to allow Bunny Shaw to get that shot off. For me, you've got to be tighter to it, and you probably should have learnt the lessons from the first 2 goals.
Yeah, Beulah's day off. Bunny, though, cooking in that first half. It's her lucky foot, it's her lucky head. For City, it's a sure thing. We've seen what City are up to when it comes to that attacking lineup. So defensively now, how do Spurs adjust? What can they do to try and stem that threat second half?
Yeah, I think obviously in the clips we spoke a lot about how effective Bunny Shaw was central and maybe what the defenders could have done there, but I think a lot of the crosses and a lot of the build-up players come down that left-hand side, so they need to be able to tighten up down the left-hand side, or down their right-hand side, should I say, to be able to stop those crosses coming in the first place, because that's what's causing them issues.
I know you've had a 17-minute hat-trick, but they're already worn out, Courtney, when you got on the pitch. Looking at Bunny Shaw, she looks like she's got more goals in her in the second half.
Yeah, she has, and that's what all good strikers want. They want goals, they're hungry for it, so she won't settle at 3, she'll want 4, she'll want 5, as many as she can get. So, look, I think for Spurs, as those centre-halves, should be very worried because she's got the bit between her teeth now.
With Ian coming on, he's not changing that philosophy he's spoken about. They want to go and win 4-3.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you're bringing on an attacking player who scored 2 goals midweek, so you can see what they're trying to do. They did need to make a change, expect maybe a few tweaks formation-wise as well to be able to shore up down that right-hand side, but they're still bringing on a positive attacking threat, so it's how they get the ball into her feet and into Martha Thomas to make a difference second half.
So Zhang, who was making her first WSL start season, she's off. Ian's on. Let's get back to your commentary team. Izzy Christensen alongside Peen Willenstein.
Thank you very much. So, a change being made for the second half. Rosella Ian trusted for the second 45 for Tottenham Hotspur as they aim to try and get themselves back into this game. But it may be a difficult task because Bunny Shaw, with a first half hat-trick, has really given Manchester City a comfortable advantage going into this second half. Well, the final checks before we get underway in the second 45 minutes. It certainly was an entertaining opening half from Manchester City, who seemed the more dominant side after Bunny Shaw was able to find her hat-trick. And as the guys are saying in the studio, Izzy, she will certainly be wanting more. She won't be settling for just 3.
Oh, she's in the mood, isn't she? And yeah, of course she'll want more, but I think from Tottenham's perspective, the priority has to be tighter marking in the box and to stifle the supply to Bunny Shaw, which is in the wide areas, just getting a little bit tighter, stopping the crosses coming into her.
Asagawa, lifted by Alexandri. Also the one change then for Tottenham Hotspur, Rosella Ian in for Zhang. Did you expect there to be a change, Izzy?
I think Robert Villaham had to do something. I think the change makes sense. I think Zhang, she did a terrific job defensively. I think she struggled to get into the game in possession. I could understand the thought process behind selecting her. In terms of ball retention, she's pretty tidy on the ball, but Ayan will bring a threat in behind. Spurs might look to go a little bit more direct in the second half.
Clinton out across to Ale. Clinton again, who very nearly tested Keating, but just off target.
Yeah, it's a lovely bit of play from Spurs, working the triangles down this right-hand side. A lovely little pick out here from Ale, and I think Grace Clinton's actually trying to find Martha Thomas at the back post, and she nearly catches everybody off guard with that.
Ayan. Taken off her by Alexandri. Now Angeldal. This is Chloe Kelly. City looking for a fourth. Stopped though by Neville.
Yeah, there are players on Manchester City's bench as well who I'm sure will be really eager to get on the pitch. Jess Park, Mary Fowler. 2 players, young players of real quality.
Here is Bunny Shaw, who's moving away into the penalty area. Jill Ward. Well blocked, but out to Hemp. Brilliant again from Lauren Hemp. Outstanding finish, and Manchester City have 4.
She only does top corners. What a finish on her weaker foot. The ball was bouncing around in the box. Again, Bunny Shaw coming through, tight off a throw-in. Just turns Molly Bartrett far too easily. Fails to pick someone out, but then the ball just ricochets to Lauren Hemp. The first touch inside, she's just not tight enough, and what a finish. She's found the corner, top corner 2 weeks in a row, and that is absolutely beautiful on her weaker foot. Becky Spencer's got no chance.
2 in the last 2, Lauren Hemp, and 2 brilliant finishes as well. 4-0 up, and that is the best possible start to a second half for Manchester City, and not the way that Tottenham Hotspur would have wanted to start this second half, especially when they are on the hunt to try and find a comeback. Now they've got an even tougher job, a more difficult ask, 4-0 down. Here's Hasegawa back to Thomas, though, who picks up for Spurs. Suominen. Bizet. Clinton finds Ale. Clinton. Bizet. To Suominen. Thomas again finds James. Thomas! To place it, and well stopped by Keating.
Tell you what, that's a wonderful bit of play from Tottenham. Playing really bravely, confidently. Short 1-2 touch passes, little round the corner from Thomas, and she gets it back off Angara James. You see what she's trying to do, and Keating's equal to it. But that is a real feature of Tottenham's play, the shorter passes. Mentioned it in the first half. It's really intelligent methods from Robert Villaham, because they're in a really good position to win the ball back if it does break down.
Alexandri. Kelly. Angeldal. Here's Hasegawa. Given away by Wahabi. Ryan looking to place it here for Martha Thomas, who could be in to try and get one back for Spurs. Thomas! Well saved by Keating, but Martha Thomas will be disappointed.
Yeah, I do not think that Martha Thomas will get a better chance than that this evening. She does everything right. The ball over the top is perfectly weighted into her pass. She takes a touch to the left, and she's just gone for the across the goal finish, and just not enough angle on the ball to trouble Keating at all.
Here comes Angeldal. Charging at this Tottenham defence. Now Chloe Kelly. Trying to get away from Neville. We got there just in time. Another good battle tonight between Ashley Neville and Chloe Kelly. She's had to deal with 2 of Manchester City's key players, really. Ashley Neville with Chloe Kelly and Lauren Hemp, who sometimes switch sides. Here's Hemp! Very nearly gifted a 5th goal.
positioning just gives her the space to arrive. She reads the pass. Just what I would say, Molly Park should just do exactly what she's just done there, just miss out the press.
Short. Over to Hemp. Decision. Jill Ward was out. Well, there's absolutely no way she's missing. Right in front of goal, Jill Ward causes more pain for Tottenham Hotspur. Manchester City have 5, and it goes from bad to worse for Spurs.
Just the ball breaking down from Asmita, but look at this little turn from Bunny Shaw. She takes 2 players out by not even touching the ball, just rolling. And this little dink from Lauren Hemp is delightful. And Jill Ward was talking about her finishing from the edge of the box. She probably won't find an easier one in her career than that. And she's laughing as she heads it home. The City have been absolutely ruthless tonight.
Well, Jill Ward, her 5th of the season. Also 2 and 2 for her. She was on target in the derby. And on target again on home soil as well.
It's just interesting. I'm just reading a quote from Robert Villahan before the game. And he says about playing with bad self-confidence, and if you want to be brave and play out from the back, it's not easy, especially if you lose the ball and concede. It's not the easiest way, but it's the most fun way. And it's interesting that the team is still playing out from the back, they're still taking risks, and it's partly what I thought in terms of this game is not a measure necessarily of where Spurs are at, but it's about being brave.
Well, here is Chloe Kelly to place the cross, and this time into the hands of Spencer. And away to Hasegawa, and this is Bunny Shaw. And he's trying to get away from Buller. Angeldal. Well, there will be a couple of changes then for Manchester City. Starting with Philippa Angeldal, who is replaced by Laura Coombs. And Jill Rhodes as well, who just got on the score sheet, is replaced by Dena Castellanos, so both players who were already booked in this game. And Gareth Taylor taking no risks.
Yeah, absolutely. They've already had, is it 4 players sent off this season? Manchester City, absolutely that keen. They don't want to take any risks. And I think also Castellanos and Laura Coombs will be knocking on the door every training session to try and force their way into the team. 2 players with real attacking quality, which is not good for Spurs.
Manchester City on the attack again, this time into the hands of Spencer. It's interesting, we mentioned about the red cards there. 4 of the 5 red cards in the WSL this season have come to Manchester City. Their disciplinary record hasn't exactly been great at the start of this season. Hemp. There's Hasegawa. Castellanos. Manchester City actually drew their League Cup game midweek. They lost on penalties though against Leicester. This perhaps one way to make a statement. Hasegawa. What does a manager say to players when your team is losing by such a heavy scoreline and you've still got so long to go as well?
Listen, it's about pride. It's about sticking to the plan and being resilient. You know, you kind of look then into your individual battle and think, I'm not going to lose that for the rest of the game. It is a psychological test, I'm not going to lie. I've been here before at the receiving end of a City hammering, but I've also been on it as well, so I've had a fun career. But listen, it's difficult when you've got a team that builds the ball so well. But like I said, it's about pride. Sticking to the basics, trying to find a way that you can learn from this experience.
Well, especially after having such a strong start as well. Tottenham Hotspur 6 unbeaten before this game. Only lost one game this season before they faced Manchester City. Kelly to Hasegawa. Now Coombs. Hemp will take on this Spurs defence. Hemp across, looking for Coombs! Ruthless from Manchester City. And Coombs has only just come on as a substitute. Gets her first of the season, and Manchester City hit 6.
Oh, I tell you what, it was a danger for Spurs when Castellanos and Coombs came on the pitch. Two players are hungry, and Laura Coombs has just shown exactly what she's about. She's just left Lauren Hemp 1v1 here. She knows she's got full control of the situation. She holds back, and this is the most audacious little pick out from Lauren Hemp, and the finish across the keeper. Just opens her foot up and guides it across Becky Spencer. But this is so clever from Lauren Hemp, because we've seen a variation of crosses from Manchester City today, and that was one we've not seen yet. Just confuses Spurs, and the finish was brilliant.
Well, it is a night that Manchester City will remember. It's a night that Tottenham Hotspur will fear and dread. Bizet over to Thomas. Bizet is there. Just couldn't get the strike that she wanted.
Yeah, lovely bit of play from Spurs. Bizet just goes all the way, doesn't she? Just watch how this move finishes. The City players are angry at the referee, and I can see exactly why. He's given a corner. But it comes off Bizet.
This is in. Good header. Great save.
Brilliant ball from Ayan. Brilliant header from Simonen. And Keating was equal to it. Alert. Ready. Yeah, brilliant save from Keating.
Here's Ayan. Hasegawa.
Brilliant from Hasegawa. As good as she is in possession, that 1v1 defending, she just reads what Bizet was trying to do. Just get to the byline and look for the cross. Just seeing this header again from Simonen. She couldn't have done much more than perhaps put it either side of Keating, but great reflexes. Yeah, the ball's got a lot of pace on it. It's a brilliant save from Keating.
Castellanos trying to hold on to it, but Barchek coming into the back. She stayed down, Dana Castellanos. Will require some treatment. She scored actually in her last appearance, which was the midweek draw against Leicester in the Cup. But this will give Tottenham Hotspur a chance to make a change as well. And Jelena Zadorsky is on and replaces Nita Ale. And she's not played yet in the WSL this season, Jelena Zadorsky. Both of her appearances this season have been in cup games, so Nita Ale makes way.
Yeah, she's an experienced international, Jelena Zadorsky. It's been a tough start for her this season. Having played a lot last season, missing a bit of last season as well, actually. But real leadership qualities. Good to see her get on the pitch.
Well, it took Manchester City just under 15 minutes to get the first 3 goals in the first half. It's taken them just over 11 minutes to get the next 3 goals in the second half. Everything that they create at the moment seems to end up in the back of the net.
Yeah, I don't think it's too much of a surprise to see Alex Greenwood back in the side over the last couple of games and Man City getting back to winning ways.
Here's Bunny Shaw, stopped though by Suominen. Tottenham Hotspur never lost by this margin before. It would be a record if the scoreline stays like this or gets any worse for Tottenham Hotspur. Alexandri finds Bunny Shaw. Asagawa spotted Castellanos.
I don't look at this Tottenham performance so far and think if there's anything outstanding that they could have done more of. I just think in the 1v1 areas out wide, they haven't been tight enough. In the box, they've not been tight enough. And there's been spells where there's been excellent bits of possession from them, resulting in chances. But I think the gulf between the two sides on tonight's performance is quite big.
Asagawa. Chloe Kelly. Zadorsky with the block this time.
Yeah, there's really nice variation in Chloe Kelly's play that as a winger you expect the profile of a wide player to be able to go 1v1, or even on that occasion she's comfortable going at 2 defenders. She's good at combining and she's got an excellent delivery. She's proven all 3 of those qualities in her recent form.
Ali with the delivery. Put away by Zadorsky and as far as Coombs. Castellanos finds Bunny Shaw, but James gets it away, but not very far. Here is Chloe Kelly, but the flag is up, so she'll be stopped in her tracks. Spurs will get on with it quickly.
Just watch the position of Grace Clinton. Absolutely brilliant from a young player.
Well, Bizet spotted Zadorsky making her way over to that left-hand side. Zadorsky with the cross, but a little bit too much power behind it. She was searching for Bizet, who was making her way over.
Yeah, it's a good little switch of play, that. Good 1v1. You can see what she's trying to do. Martha Thomas, she goes to the front post.
Here's Castellanos. Kennedy. Hemp, who switched over with Kelly. Izzy, when you look at the impact of the Manchester derby win for Manchester City last weekend on Sunday, and then this, is looking like they're heading into a very, very big victory over Tottenham Hotspur, a team who had really started the season with a bang. Psychologically, what does that do to you as a player, momentum-wise?
Yeah, I think it was integral for Manchester City to win today off the back of the derby win. I do think Manchester United last weekend didn't perform as well as I've seen them perform and as I know they can perform. So take that into account, but nonetheless it's a derby win, and it's definitely filled them with confidence coming into this game and going into the international break. Good positive signs for Man City.
James, on to Thomas and Suominen. Bartrett. And Hara James looking for Bizet, but it's collected by Greenwood and taken over by Kelly. This is Hemp. Did a fun interview actually with Lauren Hemp not that long ago, and we were talking about her love for Lego and all the things that she's been building. You can see that interview over on Sky Sports social channels. One very heartbreaking story though about a Yoda that she built, which actually fell off her cabinet and broke. So she had to make that up again.
Oh, what a real shame. I was actually playing Duplay this morning.
Oh really?
Well, with my niece. Who's two.
Well, each their own. Everyone has different interests. Here is Castellanos. Asagawa finds Bunny Shaw. Well, the defenders of Spurs were right to it when Bunny Shaw had her sights set on goal. Kennedy. Martha Thomas relentless in her pursuit to try and win the ball back.
Yeah, another excellent bit of defending from Alana Kennedy. Martha Thomas is a real handful to play against. Alana Kennedy has played every single minute this season for Gareth Taylor, and she's certainly proven how consistent and how good she is. She's really coming to her own.
Chloe Kelly. Out to Coombs. Now Hasegawa. Well, here is Thomas, and the I was going to say the flag stays down for now, but it was up against it.
Yeah, she's just playing on the shoulder of Kennedy. Knows that the ball's going to come. City's line's really high because they've been playing out. I'm just watching her here. Is she offside?
It looks very close, doesn't it?
I don't think so.
It looked like Alana Kennedy may have been keeping the Thomas onside. Bula collects it for Spurs. No VAR, of course, in the WSL. Bunny Shaw. Bula.
What a touch that is from Grace Clinton.
Here is Clinton again. She's got support left and right. Ayan. Well, she's seen Bizet in space, but Ayan holds on. Here's Bizet. Bizet with the cross. Here's James. Well blocked. Really brilliant block, actually.
That's another brilliant passage of play from Spurs. Really patient.
Now a chance for Bunny Shaw to get away. And taken down there by Bartrip as she was on her way through. And there will be a yellow card.
Yeah, the crowd certainly enjoyed that little flick over Bartrip by Bunny Shaw, and she was away. And I think Bunny Shaw just looked up and she actually didn't have too many options up with her. So she slows the play down. It gives Bartrip a chance to get back in and force the foul. But some of the touches of play in this game from both teams, some of the individual players, has been absolutely excellent.
Well, where's the captain's armband? Molly Bartrip tonight in the absence of Bethany England.
Yeah, just wondering whether Alex Greenwood is going to have a go from distance here, and Alana Kennedy, she actually can also strike them as well. Much different technique to Alex Greenwood.
I suppose when you're 6-0 up, you're allowed to have a go, aren't you?
Yeah, it's probably the only time you say to the centre-backs, go on over to you. They're having a discussion. I think at the angle Alana Kennedy's at, I'm wondering whether it's going to be an Alex Greenwood strike.
There will be Greenwood! Well, it looked like it was on its way in. Oh, Becky Spencer felt the after effects.
That's not bad at all, is it, from Alex Greenwood? No, she's got it in the locker, but from distance like that, it's almost got to be perfect. Does hit the top of the bar. A wonderful effort nonetheless.
Well, she's still feeling a little bit of discomfort, Becky Spencer. Evelina Suminen is also down for Tottenham. As a player, Izzy, when you suffer a defeat like this, what goes into the training after this? So what happens the day after? What do the managers do? What do the coaches do and say to the players to try and pick themselves back up?
You know, it's a funny one, because I used to say to some of the teams I was in last season that when you're playing a 4 or 5 hour trip away from home before the game, I said, let's not get back on that bus feeling disappointed. And that's the first part you got to get over, is when you get on the bus and you know you've got a 5 hour trip back down south. And no, but the training day afterwards, or +2, you know, it's always difficult, but you've just got to get back on the train and keep moving. It's difficult, but that's where leaders come into the group and pick players up. But there's definitely a lot of learning experiences Tottenham can take from this game.
Well, Kit Graham is getting ready to and one for Tottenham Hotspur. I suppose the other question is, on the other side, if you're coming off the back of a 6-0 win, do you get an extra day off?
Yeah, they always give you late notice as well, so you can't plan anything.
So a couple of changes then. Jessica Naz and Kit Graham, the two who will be going on. So the changes are Grace Clinton will make way. And Celine Bizet makes way for Jessica Naz. And then another change as well. We'll see Ria Percival replace Evelina Suminen. So all 5 substitutions made now for Tottenham Hotspur.
Yeah, you've got a really exciting player coming into the pitch in Kit Graham, who spent a lot of time out injured with an ACL. It's really good to see her back. And she's a player I particularly enjoy watching.
There's Castellanos. Trying to get on the end of it. Trying to keep it in play, but Coombs is there for Manchester City. Here's Castellanos.
What a turn from Castellanos.
City on the attack. Over to Hemp. Across, and that's comfortable in the end for Becky Spencer. Manchester City, we can see below us, ready to make a triple change as well. Alexandri. Well, the fixtures don't get much easier for Tottenham Hotspur either. They've got Manchester United in their next WSL match. Of course, a little bit of time to wait with the international break after this. So Manchester United, and they've got Arsenal twice, back to back, once in the Cup, once in the WSL, and then West Ham to finish off. Well, that's in January. And they'll be hoping they can try and bounce back and find a reaction after what has been looking like a heavy defeat. Here's Coombs, out across to Castellanos.
It's a similar range to where Castellanos scored midweek against Leicester. It's one of her qualities as a number 10 is shots from distance.
Here she is, Castellanos. It's the easiest ball for Lauren Hemp, but Becky Spencer came out and claimed it. Just got caught by the boot of Lauren Hemp on the follow-up.
Yeah, Castellanos just trying to feed the ball through to Lauren Hemp. Yeah, Lauren Hemp's just tried to go for the ball, hasn't she?
So whilst Becky Spencer gets some treatment, there is a host of changes for Manchester City. Demi Stokes replaces Leila Wahabi. Jess Park replaces Chloe Kelly. And Mary Fowler is on to replace Bunny Shaw, who scored a hat-trick again against Tottenham Hotspur.
sure really delighted with her performance today. That third goal was brilliant, 2 headers to add to that. And another talented player coming in place of him, Mary Fowler, who's been getting more minutes this season for Manchester City. I think she's really promising, wonderful player.
Well, still struggling a little bit at the moment, Becky Spencer, but she's back up on her feet and hopefully okay to finish this game. James. Here's Neville. In by Graham. Charging forward now is Naz and Thomas. Naz. Placed it for Martha Thomas. Offside.
Yeah, another player, Jessica Naz, with real potential. Again, not too long back from a long-term injury.
Trying her best to try and hold on to this chance, but we were taken out there by Ayan.
Yeah, I don't mind that at all from Ayan. 84th minute, 6-0 down. I do not mind that at all. Still got a mentality to win the ball back, make an impression.
Well, Manchester City had such a strong home run as well before their last game, which was the defeat against Brighton, which was their only home defeat in the last 22 games. So they'll be hoping they can use this as the beginning of another run of good results here at Joy Stadium.
Yeah, another little tidy bit of play from Tottenham through the thirds. It was Kit Graham this time, laying it off into Percival. He's just tried to feed Ayan and Zagorski, but the cross isn't quite there. It pretty much summarises how Tottenham have been unsuccessful tonight.
Ayan running forward. Here's Martha Thomas in the last 22 games, so they'll be hoping they can use this as the beginning of another run of good results here at Joy Stadium.
Yeah, another little tidy bit of play from Tottenham through the thirds. It was Kit Graham this time, laying it off into Percival. He's just tried to feed
Alexandria. A lot of these players will be heading off for their respective international teams for the next international window. And then a festive fixture schedule resumes in December. Fowler can hold on, and Naz has it now for Spurs.
That's brilliant from Jess Naz. Brilliant. Tracking back. You just watch the position of Kit Graham. The way she's playing that Grace Clinton role that she's played this evening before her. She showed another little touch before. Fantastic.
Neville. Across to Graham. Picked up here though by Castellanos.
Not then.
Demi Stokes recently made her 200th appearance for Manchester City. She was a substitute midweek in that League Cup game against Leicester. A milestone for her. Here's Hemp. And across to Park. A touch from Jess Park as well, who's looking to weave away from Zadorsky. Keeps going. Asagawa back to Lea Alexandri, and now Greenwood.
You just look at those short passes between Greenwood and Alexandri. They're just really trying to tease with Spurs. And Asagawa not on the same page as Jess Park there, but that's just the way that City play.
Naz. Naz again going up against Stokes. Here's Neville. Ayan. Couldn't quite find the players. What do you think has been the downfall for Tottenham Hotspur tonight, Izzy?
Yeah, I think it's been exactly what we've just seen in those pictures there. The end product has lacked at times, but I think there's been times where they haven't been able to circulate the ball well enough. They just did it well on that occasion, actually. But I think, listen, I think Manchester City have been in the mood this evening. They've played some really good football. And Spurs have they've been given a humbling. And there's a lot they can take from this, like I said, but I think the difference tonight has been the quality for Manchester City. I don't think Spurs have actually been awful. I think there's a lot of positives to take from this Spurs performance. And if you look at where they were last season, the strides that they've made in such a short space of time, it's, like I said, I don't think tonight is necessarily a marker of where they're at right this moment.
Forward over to Alexandri, and this is Hasegawa. To Kennedy. Here is Castellanos, and across to Park. Hemp to weave across. Here's another one for City, and they just couldn't quite get it through. Jess Park had her opportunity, couldn't quite find the target.
Oh, it was a lovely bit of play from Jess Park, and this little touch from Lauren Hemp into the path of Jess, and it wasn't for the foot of Percival. I wonder whether that would have seen the back of the net. Really good impact from Jess Park.
Well, we're into 9 minutes added time. Neville. Out to Naz. There's Percival. James looking for Thomas to try and get on the turn, but well defended by Manchester City. Well, we can talk all about, Izzy, the negatives of Tottenham Hotspur and how they've had this downfall, but Manchester City certainly have shown really positive signs and starting to make this impact and a statement in the WSL as they come forward looking for a 7th. Here's Park. Out to Alexandri, and now Hasegawa. For you, what have been the positives for Manchester City?
Oh, I think they've manipulated the ball brilliantly. I think there's been really slick play, some beautiful crosses in the first half, some really nice tidy bits of play tactically in the second. The way they've just kind of manipulated Spurs, and what I like about what Spurs has done is they haven't dropped back, they haven't dropped deep and succumbed to the deep block that you'd normally associate with the plan of trying to get a result against Manchester City. They've kept going, Tottenham, and rather focusing on the negatives. Listen, I think Manchester City, you know, I think they've really shown their class tonight.
Well, here's what's coming up on Sky Sports Football. Tomorrow night, Fulham host Wolves. 6:30 p.m. we get underway, Sky Sports Premier League. Then following that, Saturday night football sees Nottingham Forest host Everton. Sky Sports Premier League for that one. And then Super Sunday starts with West Ham against Crystal Palace. And then it's the men's turn to play this fixture. Manchester City hosting Tottenham Hotspur. Super Sunday next Sunday, 4 o'clock coverage gets underway, Sky Sports Premier League. Here's Anhara James. Well, a chance, Izzy, for you to let us know who your player of the match is tonight.
Yeah, listen, Lauren Hemp's been excellent. Massive credit to her for what she's done tonight, but it has to be Bunny Shaw. Has to be the 3 goals in the first half, the hat-trick, ruthless, you know, really good number 9 play and movement inside the box was excellent. Urge any young striker to watch that back.
Hasegawa collects for Manchester City. And there will be a free kick that goes the way of the home side as well. Well, this result probably wasn't on the cards for Robert Villahan. This is not what he would have expected to be happening tonight. Some thinking to do for him, but it's certainly a different mood for Gareth Taylor. He will be very pleased with his side's performance.
Yeah, Lana Kennedy figuring out the best way to play out from the back in that moment was a back heel, which I suppose you can do when you're 6-0 up on the very odd occasion.
Were you one for a few fancy tricks when you were playing, is he?
Quite like them in training. Yeah.
The referee says play on, and it lands to Coombs. What a finish! 3 points wrapped up for Manchester City, and they're into 7. The number 7 scores the 7th.
Oh, what a goal that is, Laura Coombs. How about coming off the bench and scoring 2 goals? But it's all about this bit from Jess Park. She runs on the back shoulder of Zadorsky. It's a foot race, and it's just this touch here that gets her away. The linesman's put a flag up, but carried on playing advantage. This little pick out, the touch from Coombs. Oh, what a finish from Laura Coombs.
Well, her second of the evening. But Manchester City 7-0 up against Tottenham Hotspur. I don't think anybody would have expected this scoreline, is he?
No, definitely not. And Robert Villahan will be really disappointed, of course. But you know what, Manchester City, there is always a danger when you set up to play against them that they will be in this type of mood. But you've got to be able to adapt.
Picked up here by Lauren Hemp. Fowler. They're not done yet, Manchester City. Coombs over to Fowler. This is Hasegawa. It's away and Thomas will collect it. Picked up here by Naz. He keeps going for Tottenham.
I think Zadorsky was on if Jessica Naz had just managed to play her in.
Neville. First of all, tried the strike is Thomas, but quickly away by Greenwood. Barchet onto Bula. Keating. Well, this has been a painful night for Tottenham Hotspur, their worst ever defeat in the Women's Super League. Not a night they will want to remember, but a night they will want to learn from.
Yeah, a real humbling. But it's cliche. You can't let it affect your confidence. You cannot. And you know, it might have come at a good time with the international break, just to players to go away with their international teams and reset coming back.
Barchet over to James. There's Bula. Well, 7 superb strikes. Sealed success for Manchester City. And Tottenham Hotspur just couldn't respond. A hat-trick for Bunny Shaw. Lauren Hemp on the score sheet again as well with a superb strike. Jill Roth also with a goal to her name as well, and Laura Coombs on as a substitute, getting involved with 2. So Manchester City with an outstanding victory against Tottenham Hotspur, who have come crashing back down to reality. The full-time score here at Joy Stadium, Manchester City 7-0 winners against Tottenham Hotspur.
Super summing up, Peen. Brilliant. Thank you also to Izzy as well. I mean, be brief now because we've got a whole age to talk about it and we'll need it. Just how good were City, Courtney?
Yeah, it was fantastic to watch. We spoke pre-match about them and the chances they created, but not being clinical enough. And I think I said, if it can click, it'll be dangerous, and it certainly was that tonight for Spurs.
Yeah, I think for Tottenham, they tried to play the Tottenham way, as they said. We saw glimpses of what they could do going forward, but for me, defensively, they just weren't good enough tonight, and City really punished them.
You will have loads of reaction to come from this, including hopefully hearing from Bunny Shaw and from the managers too. But what a way to end this final WSL weekend before the international break. 7-0 win for Manchester City. It's kicked off on Sunday with that 2-0 win for Manchester United. Wins 2 for Arsenal, a couple of goals for Beth Mead in that, 5-2 for Chelsea over Leicester, and a win for Liverpool and Everton too. Leaves your table looking like this tonight. Chelsea still top, 3 points separate them and Arsenal. Manchester City then up to 3rd as Spurs drop to 6th. And you can watch highlights of every single goal from across the WSL, available from midnight tonight. You can scan that QR code, or if that's a little bit quick for you, download the Sky Sports app. Over the next few days, Monday Night Football brings you Fulham Wolves, Saturday Night Football, Nottingham Forest, Everton, and Super Sunday, West Ham Palace and Manchester City, Tottenham do battle again, but in the Premier League. And it's Christmas. Well, not yet, but you can get in the mood with Genie, showing from Friday on Sky Cinema. Well, City got their 3 wishes and then 4 more. Manchester City beating Spurs, a record defeat for Tottenham Hotspur, and City finally find their twinkle toes and score 7.
Across and short! Pretty short. In the right place at the right time. It's Ward to short! It's a second! This is short. Pretty short! What a finish! It's a first half hat-trick for Buddy Shaw!
Yeah, Shaw did the damage, but Lauren Hemp was at the heart of everything. Who wouldn't want to talk about the 4th goal? And this apparently on her weaker foot. Lauren Hemp then making it 4-0, and then there were 5. Another clever cross, or was it a shot from Hemp? Coombs with a 5th, 6 followed shortly after for Coombs, and then number 7 scored 7 to bring Manchester City home. Goals aplenty then for Manchester City and Gareth Taylor's side tonight. If you look at the number of shots, 20, but on target, 10, scoring 7 of those. We asked whether Manchester City could be clinical tonight. We got the answer. What a 15-minute hat-trick from Bunny Shaw. Could there have been any other player of the match? And she joins us live now. Bunny, we must stop meeting like this. You keep winning player of the match. You'll get bored of us. How was that for you tonight?
Yeah, it was a good feeling, of course. Coming into this game, we wanted to be clinical. We wanted to, score as much goals as possible. And, it started from us at the top of the pitch. So I think, we scored the goals and we got the win. So it's a good game.
We've got Courtney Sweetman-Kirk and also Fern Whelan with us in the studio. Courtney.
Yeah, Bunny, first of all, have you scored a faster hat-trick than that? I am wondering. And secondly, in terms of that taking you to the joint top of the goal-scoring charts in the WSL now, is that something that's important to you, or is it more about the whole-round team performance?
Yeah, I think that's probably the quickest I've scored 3 goals. But, yeah, for me, being the front runner of the team, I just want to go out there, work as hard as I can for the team, because I know at the end of the day that's the most important thing, is to get the job done at the end of the day and, to try to get 3 points on the board. So I think, for me, I just try to work hard, do the little bits that I can in and around my position, and hopefully I get the goals, and that's what happened tonight, so I'm happy.
Well, thank goodness it was a quick hat-trick, because it means we've got time to show you the goals. If you have a little look down, you can look back at them with us. You've been pretty decent with your head this season. We know we saw that from you last season as well, but talk to us about Lauren Hemp and some of these crosses.
Yeah, I think me and Lauren, we work a lot on the training pitch and we communicate, and I think by playing with Lauren, I'm used to her now and where she's going to put the ball, and she knows where I'm going to be. So I think, all that is just on the training pitch. We spoke about it and I said just put the ball in, and I tried to get, across the face of the goal and try to do the bits that I can. So, yeah.
And you spoke about, obviously, in the first instance, about how clinical you guys were tonight, Bunny, and, half-time, 3-0, second half, then you carry on and you go again. Is that something that spoke about within the team, that we're going to go out second half and we're going to keep the tempo up and we're going to carry on and keep going at them?
Yeah, I think for us is to try to score as many goals as we can. I think in the past we've had first half good performances, but came out at the second half a little bit flat. So I think halftime we spoke about it. The coach, drilled it in our heads to go out and press on and keep momentum and keep scoring. So I think the second half that's what we wanted to do, and that's what we came out here and we tried to score as many goals as possible.
Make some more room at home, because there's another Player of the Match trophy about to be presented to you alongside that match ball to take away too. Bunny, congratulations again and thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Bunny Shaw, our Player of the Match. We're going to talk more about Lauren Hemp in just a little bit, but she's right. You can see they've been working on it.
Yeah, definitely. Some of them goals were straight off the training ground, weren't they? But I think what impressed me so much about them tonight is that ruthlessness in front of goal. We may not have seen it. We spoke about it before the game, that they've been a little bit lacklustre in front of goal, creating so many chances but not finishing. And today, you couldn't keep up with them, the amount of goals they were scoring. It looked like it was 7, but it could have been 8, 9, 10, the amount of chances they had.
Stay with us on Sky Sports Football as we continue to bring more analysis from that win for Manchester City. It was actually a record defeat for Spurs in the WSL. Showcase are about to leave us, but coming up, we're going to hear from Gareth Taylor, the Manchester City boss, reflecting on that win tonight. Reflecting on a 7-0 win then for Manchester City. There was a brilliant save in there from Kira Keating as well. Bunny Shaw goes home with a match ball. Lucky fans going home with the selfies as well. Fern, Courtney, at times you're like, how did that just happen, Courtney? Just every time they seem to get forward in the pitch. After being 3-0 up with that hat-trick, it just kept coming from City. Yeah,
it was wave after wave, and that's what I liked. I said it, I think I mentioned it at half-time between us when we were sitting here saying they need the ruthlessness. This is the difference now. They need to go and try and get 4, 5, 6. Didn't think they'd probably get 7, but that just shows that as well, the strength and depth of the players that they're bringing onto the pitch that are scoring goals. Obviously, Laura Coombs coming on and scoring 2. Now she's a World Cup squad finalist, so it's amazing for City, but it's the fact that now it's starting to just click into place. You're starting to feel good now. Behind the scenes, there was a little bit of a tussle on whether Bunny Shaw or Lauren Hemp should get player of the match. It went to Bunny, but Lauren Hemp just involved in so many of these goals and scoring.
Oh, Lauren Hemp was unbelievable today. She really was. She was involved with everything, and here it's reverse, roles reverse. Bunny Shaw providing, the build-up down the right-hand side, but what a great finish here on an unfavoured foot.
Yeah, not weaker, is it?
Unfavoured, yeah, should we say. She hasn't got a weak foot. But she just opens up the space, she doesn't want to be marked. She just creates a space for herself. And that, you can see the defence are miles off her. And that allows her to take her time, compose herself, and then strike a top corner. What an absolutely unbelievable finish this is.
They didn't learn, Spurs, defensively, heading into that second half. Cross or shot for the dual-Roard goal on 53 minutes. Again, just the build-up from City. Yeah, the build-up, and you see it's Roard actually there that initially wins the ball back and keeping the width there, Lauren Hempen. It's just this little touch here. It's a really good touch for me. It's probably, it is a cross-come shot. But equally, I think that's going in. I think there might be, a few funny words after the game with a teammate saying you should have left that, because I think it was going in. But no, you've got to make sure. And again, I think it's the variety that Lauren Hemp brings. We've seen it the game. She can go wide. She can drift in. Obviously, she's got the ability to score off both sides. So it really was a performance that I think probably deserved man of the match. But you can understand when, you've got a player on a hat-trick that, it was a tussle. But again, that just shows the level of performance that we're arguing about 2 players for the player of the match performance. And then we haven't really spoken about Chloe Kelly in this match. Laura Coombs comes on and scores a couple as well. It's that depth in the bench that the City side have. Yeah, we're saying that strength and depth off the bench is just unbelievable, and that's what you need if you're going to have the longevity going through the season to try and compete for titles. When Laura Coombs comes on, as you can see, she actually starts the move in this clip, and then she stays alive, she stays alert, and again, Lauren Hemp involved yet again, and this time she just dribbles past Asmita Rail there, and she can't get tight to her, and Coombs stays alert, she stays alive, and what an absolutely fantastic finish it is. If we just see here as the ball comes into her, she has to just hold her space and open up her body shape, and that could have easily ran across her, but it's a great finish from here on the edge of the box, and she's showing that when she comes off the bench she can do just as good a job. Yeah, and I think it's important to show that you can make that impact and not be so disappointed. Obviously she will be disappointed, but the fact that, right, come on, this is why you should be starting me, and again she gets herself in a wonderful position there. Actually, the first touch probably doesn't do her any favours, but the finish, I've had the pleasure of sharing the pitch and playing with Laura Coombs, and I've seen her do this many a time, so I'm not surprised, but take nothing away from the finish. But again, in terms of the defending from Tottenham Hotspur, not close enough to her in my opinion. It's a poor touch, so if they're closer they can probably get to her, but then there's nothing poor about this right in the top corner. There's nothing that Rebecca Spence can do about that. We're seeing that variety as well, aren't we, with City and the way they play and the build-up play, because we talk about them being such a possession-based team. But in that goal, Alana Kennedy, she's gone direct and she's gone straight into the wide area, and then obviously it's a cross for the goal. So they're showing that they've got that variance in the way they play as well, which is fantastic. Which all comes from the manager, right? Let's speak to him. Gareth Taylor joins us live on Sky Sports. There's the smile, Gareth. I know there was a little bit of criticism, or at least questions throughout the seasons about your side being clinical. There's the answer, right?
Yeah, of course, you're right, but it's one game. You know, I think we carve out so many opportunities that you're right. You know, every game could potentially turn into that type of scoreline tonight.
We could stand here and talk about Bunny Shaw. We've already given her the player of the match, but can we talk about Lauren Hemp and just how influential she is in your team?
Yeah, she is. I think that Lauren is someone who needs a challenge, and she needs to feel confident. And she's set such high standards over these last few games. I've really noticed a difference in her in terms of getting after games. I thought at United last week she was immense in everything she gave. And it is difficult to single out players because that was a really top performance tonight. But of course, you know, she gives us so much energy at the top end of the pitch. And I actually thought we kind of started the game a little bit flat. And then I thought Lauren was the spark, and I felt that if we could get the ball to her, and after we scored the first goal, you could see the confidence come from the team. And like I say, I thought we were very good tonight, scored some very good goals.
Have a little look at the screen in front of you, because Courtney's been analysing some of those Lauren Hemp moments, Courtney.
Yeah, I have, and there was many to pick from this game. And mentioned I like this a lot because actually it's started by Jill Roord who gets the goal in the end. But when you're looking at this, I think it's always a dangerous position to be faced up against Lauren Hemp. I'm going to stop it there. And Gareth, in those positions, is it almost a given that you know she's just going to drive at players? She's got that 1v1 ability, and then to be able to dig something out. I mean, maybe you can tell us, was this a cross or a shot?
I was going to say, you picked one of the worst goals here. No, look, I think it's Lauren is so good in those situations that when she gets into the box, that she just creates so much problems for the fullback, and when she pushes it to the byline like that, she's got that quality to be able to stand it up. And I think when you do that, you know, it's really hard for goalkeepers because they want to cover the near post, and they have to really struggle to recover over to the far.
Well, high standards from you, Gareth, so I'm going to give you a better one here. Similar in terms of, you know, starting and finishing. Coombs actually starts the move, but then again, Lauren Hemp, and I think this is always a massive worry, the fact that, look at this space, when it's a 1v1, there's acres of space in between. Like, what do you say to her on a daily basis? Are you telling her to attack those spaces to get 1v1?
Yeah, I think when Lauren opens her shoulders up towards goal, it's similar with Chloe on the other side and Jess. When they do that, they're just so hard to play against. I think when they're always coming back towards their own goal, you know, where they haven't opened up well enough with their body shape, then sometimes we don't get them being as positive and as direct as you've seen there with Lauren. But yeah, she's such a threat. She causes so much problem for teams, and she's got, you know, that final quality that makes a real difference.
And obviously in a 7-0 win, Gareth, everyone's going to talk about the goals, but I focus on the nil as a defender a little bit. So how much pride can you take in the fact that you've got a clean sheet? Obviously, does that have Alex Greenwood back in the side as well? Does that help? And obviously, Kiara Keaton, we spoke about her before the game. Just how well is she doing in keeping those clean sheets for you?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's such a positive for us. And I think we knew where we came up short last season was scoring goals at the top end and keeping them out down the other end. And I think tonight, we've probably got the best defensive record in the league now. I think Chelsea conceded a couple earlier, so that puts us top in that respect, which we have to take a great deal of pride in, and there's still a long season to go, but I think that's a real positive for us. And I wouldn't want to name any of the players because everyone really contributes, and like I say, the pressure for us always starts at the top end of the pitch, and that just allows the guys at the back to see less action, if you like.
You've already said you've got to be perfect between now and the end of this season. With the international break coming up, how concerned are you about sort of the load on the players at the moment? Because obviously, the title bid that you're in, you need everyone fighting fit.
Yeah, of course. There's high demands on the players, and you know, we try and help and support the nations as much as we possibly can without obviously killing ourselves. And I'm sure all the other coaches and performance directors and managers will be the same. It's so difficult. I think it's probably something that needs looking at because the demands on the players are so tough, particularly when you start to go into close season where there seems to be a tournament every summer and very little time to work with players and very little time for the players to have a rest. So, but we have good dialogue with the coaches. I think ownership from the players is the most important one because they just want to please everyone. You know, they want to play for their countries, which is natural, and they want to be at every game for their club. So, yeah, it's really tough. Sometimes you have to take the decision away from them if you can.
Will you be doing that?
Well, if we feel it's necessary, yeah, of course. I think particularly with the young players, we're such a young team at the moment. I mean, I think outside like the likes of Steph, Alana, Alex and Layla, we're very young, and even Lauren Hemp is still such a young player that, you know, if you ask Lauren to play, she'll nod and say yes, but sometimes you just have to take that kind of pressure away from young players by having these conversations and saying, look, you know, especially with the international coaches, that, you know, this is for both of us, you know, try and see the bigger picture rather than the short term, and it's so difficult because, of course, the likes of England have got 2 tough games coming up where I'm sure Serena would want everyone available for those games.
All right, Gareth, thank you for your time as always tonight. Well done again.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Gareth Taylor joined us. Really interesting point there, Fern, because it is a tough old run for England coming up in this international break. But I mean, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but Lauren Hemp, one of those, he might put his foot down.
I mean, yeah, he said so, didn't he? But, you know, if a player's saying they're fit and they're good and they want to go and they want to play, it's difficult, isn't it, to try and pull someone out. We spoke about it before, that the players are potentially under a lot of pressure at the moment. And, you know, if you kind of dip out, is someone going to take my place?
It's that psychology, isn't it, in your head? Because you've seen Laura Coombs come off the bench and you know she can perform and add to it. So as a player, in the back of your mind, if you're a starter player, you don't want to say, you know what, Gaffer, I feel a bit tired, maybe I need to step away, because there's always that thought process in your head that if you do that, you might not be starting a run of games, maybe.
And it's the potential, it's not just the physical. We spoke about the mental side of things as well. So you've got to be able to be focused, be switched on, have that time away sometimes to regroup, to mentally go again. And sometimes, as we spoke about, the players aren't getting that at the moment.
We're going to do that with a little break and talk all things Tottenham Hotspur as well on the way. But what a win for Manchester City tonight. But for Robert Villaham, he says he's not all about clean sheets. It's about scoring more than the opposition. What a result that would have been tonight. We'll hear from him next. So defeat for Spurs, a record defeat at Manchester City, going down 7-0. Food for thought then for the Spurs boss, Robert Villaham, who's been speaking to Natalie.
Robert, really tough one to take tonight. Why was it so hard to show that strong identity, that type of game that you've been showing throughout the season?
I mean, 7-0 is not a fun result, right? And it's, I apologize to the fans about that result, because that's not a result we should have. But if you look at Man City and how they scored their goals this game, that takes the game to that place. And they are a really good team, and we try to play our style, but they win the ball and they score goals. So for me, it's like you still see we trying to do what we are supposed to do. We play against a really good team, but then of course they are really sharp in some of the one-against-one situations, and that hurts us today. So we need to learn from this as well. I mean, this is a really hard knock on us, but I know that we're going to get back and we're going to fight again, and we're going to take steps from this one as well.
And of course, you're very strong in this idea of playing your way, the Tottenham way. But any regrets on maybe taking a more careful approach?
No, because I don't think we're going to try to go here and get a draw and 0-0 defend. I'm going to go the whole way with this way, and we're going to play this style, and we're going to learn from it. And this year is not about result. This year is about development and make sure we understand how to play. So for me, seeing the players dare to play out from the back in the minute 95 when we have 7-0 and create chances against them, that's actually, the players should actually be brave about and be proud about that. But then it's more like the result. Of course, it's on me that we have these big numbers. But for me, it's this. You need this kind of knocks sometimes to take steps. You need to know what we demand on the players, right? So I know this should happen. 7-0 is too high, but I knew that we're going to have 1 or 2 of these kind of losses, because the way we play is with bravery, and it's also sometimes you feel stupid because they take the ball in stupid situations. But for me, learning through this is the way we're going to do it. So for me, I'm still proud of the players and how they perform.
Sounds like no regrets, but after the international break with Manchester United and Arsenal to come, do they need to change the way they're thinking?
The way they're thinking, yeah, because I think for me, there's not enough pride in the way they defend. I think
the way they're playing?
Well, the way they play, I think at times they showed the way they want to play and that possession-based style, and they created some chances. But for me, what really undid them today was the way they defended from open play, not just set pieces. And yes, you say international break, will it give them time to actually go away, look at the goals and work on that, and, you know, work on being hard to beat and being solid at the back?
Well, if they want, they can watch them on the Sky Sports app from midnight tonight. But we are going to run through some of the other goals from today's matches, because every team in action today. Let's start with the league leaders, Chelsea. It was 3-2 at half-time against Leicester. But again, Lauren James getting a couple of goals.
Yeah, and I think, look, she's in fantastic form. another young player, but it doesn't feel like it because she's been around for so long now. But I think we're starting, to see the best of her. And I think for me, this goal is the best one in terms of the finish. I think Leicester are unfortunately causing themselves their own problems, but that little chip, I mean, that's absolutely wonderful to watch, and that is a player that's absolutely full of confidence. And talk about another player that's full of confidence, Aggie Beaver-Jones at the moment, 5 in 5. So, her Chelsea life at the moment is really starting to kick off, isn't it?
Arsenal have done what Arsenal needed to do, which is keep up the pressure with their own win and another clean sheet. They were criticised for not having any.
They were so clinical again in this game. You see Leonard Monum here with the strike. What an absolute belter that was. Great finish at the back post. And I think, for me, it's about can they do that week in, week out. And someone who we're so pleased to see get on the score sheet today is Beth Mead. She turns the defender inside out there. It's a great finish. But, the work that they're doing, again, defensively, it comes from that work. And obviously Russo, again, we maybe say she doesn't score as many goals, but a defensive work there to then get herself in the box and then set up Beth Mead. She gets away with the first touch and 2 goals coming back from an ACL. I think she'll be absolutely made up with that.
Yeah, 428 days in between her last goal and those 2 goals again. Off to Liverpool, there's been a birth in the camp, well, not literally in the camp, but Van der Sanden has become a mother, and the celebration told the story after she scored. Yeah,
I think it's wonderful, isn't it? It's such a special time in anyone's life, so to be able to mark that with the celebration, it's a massive moment for her. And then this other goal here in Leanne Kiernan going down the right-hand side, doing what she does best, driving at players. Good little movement to pull off there, and then it's a real good finish in the end. Yeah, 4-0 win over Brighton, and then the day started off with Manchester United. Stubborn Bristol City to start. A bit of fortune for United to find their way through with the first goal.
Yeah, it did take a bit of fortune from them. Obviously, Ella Toon's setting up Miyazawa here, and she strikes from the edge of the box. We can see takes a deflection here, but that's what obviously good teams get. Unfortunately, they seem to get the luck in games like these. And then, we see here with the second goal here, Galton does well. They bring it out, use the width really well, and then the ball in from Ella Toon. But Nikita Paris does fantastic, and she's in great form at the minute. She just stays in between the defenders, makes herself difficult to mark, and it's a great header, and I think she's counting her goals there.
Well, at least she didn't play for City tonight. You have to find a few more. Let's have a little look at the table then before we head into the international break. Chelsea then, top of the table, those 3 points ahead of Arsenal. Manchester City find themselves in 3rd tonight. Spurs drop down to 6th. Bristol City, bottom of the table as we head into the break. We're back on December the 9th with both these teams again in action. Manchester City host Aston Villa, who lost to Everton today. Spurs go up against Manchester United. Both those matches then you'll be able to see from the Women's Super League with us from Saturday, December the 9th. And then coming up after us, Terry Venables, a tribute from 9:30 on Sky Sports News and Sky Sports Premier League. Courtney, Fern, thank you for your company tonight. That's it for us until the international break, as all the players head off on their travels. For Manchester City, they found the joy at home. Good night.